And we're live. Hey everyone, welcome to the Firehose Project Info Session. I'm Marco, I'm one of the co-founders, and I'm also one of the co-mentors here. And I'm running you guys through our info session today. So before I want to dive in, I want to let everyone know that I'm going to be answering questions afterwards. So feel free to either email them to me, a few of you guys already done that, or put them right next to the chat box on the YouTube page. And I'll look at that at the very end after I'm done going through the entire info session. Now, what are we going to cover today? So first of all, I want to talk a little bit about why are we doing this, right? Why is software engineering? Why is it such an important career choice? And why does it make so much sense to go in that direction? And then I want to dive into our program a little bit, talk about the introduction course, our free 2 weeks at the very beginning, and talk about the full program, the web applications that we're building, the algorithms, data structures, the Agile team project, and how all of that relates into getting you ready to find a job as a web developer, as a software engineer. And then I'm going to answer questions, and there's a few that I already received, so I'm going to answer those as well. Now, let's jump straight in and talk about why we're doing this, right? I think there's two main reasons that we have here. And the first one is that web development and software engineering is extremely in-demand skill, right? You're looking out there at hundreds of thousands of open, unfilled positions where people cannot find anyone for that job. So learn that skills and putting yourself in a growing market, right? There's a saying, software is eating the world. So being part of that and being a software engineer in that growing field that already has such high demand, and having that in-demand skill set is really, really valuable. But personally, I think what's even more important, or what's more impressive about it, is like the impact that you can have on other people's lives as a web developer is by building web applications, building features, building tools that help a lot of people have a better life, do something easier, right? Find places, be able to connect with other people, and being part of that and having that kind of impact on a massive scale is something that will impact you personally a lot, because you know you're changing the world, you're changing people's lives for the better on a big scale. So being part of somebody who builds that tool, builds that application, is something that is really powerful. And if it's well paid, that's even better, right? So that's kind of like why we're doing this, right? That in-demand skill and getting it there. Now let's talk a little bit about the intro course that we're doing, and then I'll dive into the full program. The intro course, 2 weeks free. We basically want you to build your own portfolio page, teaching you HTML, CSS, and how to host something on a server, and then we dive into Ruby as the programming language, where we have you build several coding scripts that actually do something. And then for each of those, we want you to submit those just like in the real world, so we can review your code and give you feedback. And if your code all checks out and we give you the thumbs up, we accept you into the full program. And at that point, you can choose a starting date to join us into the full program, right? That can be the next Monday. We start new students every Monday, or it can be several weeks or even months in the future. I think right now we allow up to 4 or 5 months in the future that you can reserve your start date for the full program and then pay your tuition as well. Now that's the intro course, right? And I know a lot of you who are in here right now already coding up a storm. If you've not signed up for the intro course right now, right? There's nothing to lose. Sign up now, it's free. Go to thefirehoseproject.com, sign up for the intro course, and get coding, right? Start working on your coding fundamentals, start researching, start coding, and actually do something to get you towards your goal of being a software engineer, writing code, building tools, building things and applications that help people. Now, what do we do in the full program? Full program, we kind of have like these two paths that intertwine and then merge together towards the end of the program. One side of that is our web applications, and I'll talk about that in a moment. And the other path is our algorithms and our data structures. We're running you through both of those in parallel, and in the end, they kind of merge together when we put you in the Agile team project. I want to start out with talking about the web application kind of track that we're going through. What we're building here is several web applications, and each of that, the skills that you learn is taken to the next one, so you build on top of each other and you keep moving up in kind of like your learning curve and your skill level as a web developer. The first app that we're building is pretty simple. We're taking a quote, storing a database, randomly pulling it out and showing it on the homepage. We wrap that in a mobile-first design so it looks good on all devices, from desktop, tablet, mobile phones. And we keep it pretty simple, but that's a really good way to get you familiar with the Ruby programming language in more depth, and then also the Rails framework. So we actually build a fully functional web application and we're shipping it live within the first week. get some user feedback, share with your friends and family. Next up, we build a Yelp clone. Our Yelp clone is something that a lot of students start customizing, right? If I'm looking at what our students have built, I see anything that can be put on maps. I see meditation spaces in New York, cool tourist highlights in Hawaii, favorite rock climbing spots across the US, favorite parks for dogs, right? We made it about pizza places. It's all about location-based location-based apps and putting things on maps. So on the technical side, what we need for there is like the integration with the Google Map API, so we can take an address, translate it into longitude and latitude, and place a pin on a map. So the integration with the Google API is one thing. We also do user authentication, so user registration, sign in, sign out, user dashboard for some stats. We do user comments, star ratings. We also send automated email notifications. So if somebody comments on your favorite climbing spot, you get a message and you can interact with them on your platform. That's something we built in a few weeks, and it's definitely more challenging than the first app that we built. Then we move on. Next, we build a two-sided marketplace. On one side, we have instructors. On the other side, we have students. And students can purchase courses that the instructors build. So when I say purchase, that's already a keyword for what we need to build, and that's credit card processing capabilities inside of our application. To do that, we integrate with the Stripe API to make sure we can accept payments right on your platform. It's a key feature. We absolutely need to know how to do that as developers. That's why we're teaching you that really early in the program. Now, I also said it's a two-sided marketplace, right? Instructors on one side, students on the other side. So what that means is that it gets a lot more complex because we, on a database level and an architecture level, need to track which student purchased from which instructor what type of course. And tracking all that is what a lot of database relationships are all about. And learning that really early is going to help you to architect web applications that are a lot more complex. So that's why we're doing that this early and building a two-sided marketplace. And we're looking like we're in the second month here of the program. Next up, we crank it up a notch and introduce test-driven development, right? For everyone who may not know what that is, I like to zoom out at this point usually and quickly explain that as web developers and software engineers, what we want to do is write automated software tests that make sure that any feature that we're building is working without us manually checking. It's the industry standard. It's your bread and butter as a developer. You need to know how to write automated tests. We're teaching you that in our program while actually having you build an app, right? So basically what test-driven development is, it takes this automated software testing on its head and then basically says, we first write the test will fail because there's no feature yet, then we build the feature, and the test will pass, and then we have everything working. We have high confidence that our test and our feature is working, it's not broken. Again, that's the bread and butter for a web developer, and it's something that you will have to do in the real world every single day. Test your code, review other people's code of certain features, and make sure it all passes during code review. Now, we're moving on. You will submit that application. We review that just like we review every web app that you're submitting with us. We give you feedback on what you improve, anything you should change on it. So it gets the thumbs up from us. Next, what we're building is an app completely in JavaScript. So we do a deep dive into JavaScript, and we're actually going in and building a to-do list with pure JavaScript. So we're no longer using the Rails framework, but we're doing that to prepare you to be able to write really good JavaScript. We have several coding challenges in JavaScript as well to hone your JavaScript skills even more and bring you to the next level. And then we're also using that to teach you how to integrate JavaScript into an existing Rails application so you can build features in a better UI instead of a Rails app. These are the web applications that we're building. That's the one path. The other path is the algorithms and the data structures. So if you're already in intro course, you've done some simple coding challenges in our intro course in Ruby. And the coding challenges and data structure challenges that we have there is basically an extension of that, where we dive deep into Ruby. That's a skill that you should really have as a developer, like understand object-oriented programming, understand your method, your functions, all of that type of terminology you need to be good at, and you need to write that code. And we go in as deep as searching algorithms, sorting algorithms, and that will not only help you for your technical interview, if you decide to go for switching a career, that's really important, but it also helps you to write better code and build more advanced web applications down the line. So when we go through these two paths, they're going to merge at the end into the Agile team project. And at that point, we want you to apply both skills, right? The algorithms that you know how to do now and the web application skills that you're having. And the Agile team project is pretty much the exact mirror image of what happens in the real world, right? There's a saying that the best products are built by amazing teams. And we want you to be a part of an amazing team from day one. So that means that when we are on the team, we're doing that exactly the same way as we would do it in the real world. So we take in one of our mentors, a senior developer or a VP of engineering at one of the leading companies like PayPal, eBay, Shopify, Product Hunt, TechCrunch, Techstars and Y Combinator companies, right? We're taking a senior developer there, and they will pair you up with 3 or 4 other students in a team. I'll run you through that Agile team project for full 8 weeks. During those full 8 weeks, we do the exact same Agile methodology that we do in companies, and that's like the industry standard again. We're going to have scrum meetings, we're going to have check-ins, we're going to have stand-ups, we're going to do code reviews. We're going to take features, assign them to pairs of students or individual students and say, build this, pair program with other students, submit it for code review, review each other's code, we optimize our code, and then we go on and build the next feature. And what we're building is a chess game inside of the Agile team project. So a lot of people use that, come on, Mark, chess game, that's not that exciting. Why did you choose that? Can we build something else? The reason we chose a chess game is because it's really complicated to build and implement. So we're thinking about how many rules there are in a chess game and how to write the logic. How do we automatically check for checkmate, for example, or make sure that all the moves are valid on the board? Doing so is really, really complicated, and it's also impressive. When we went out and asked our senior developers, our mentors, our network, what would impress you? How about chess game? They're all like, wow, there's so many different ways I could solve each of those challenges. And that's a discussion you're going to look for in a technical interview, in a job interview. It's like that discussion on that technical level that is really complex and not easy to do during the technical interview process to actually see like, what kind of skill level does a candidate have? And I'm talking about that in a moment as well. But basically, that's the entire program that we have you guys run through, and I'll talk about the whole job preparation in a moment. But think about the 2 tracks. Web applications, you're building several different web apps. Each of them get progressively more complicated and teaches you new skills as you progress. And then we have the algorithms on the other side, anything search, sorting algorithms, and a few of the key algorithms that you need. And then next, we're going to move up and merge those 2 paths into our Agile team project, where we go to build a really advanced web application. That's the chess game, the same way we would do it in the real world. Now, how does this segue all into our job preparation, right? What we're doing here basically is, if we're looking at a technical hiring manager, what they're looking for is to have somebody to sit in a seat as part of the team and have a high impact from day one. And what does high impact mean from day one? Is they know how to work together as a team. We're teaching you that for full 8 weeks, how to work together with a team and apply your knowledge in that setting. So when you apply for a job, you can actually demonstrate, I have all that team knowledge, communication knowledge, I know how the web development workflow on a professional level works, and I practiced that for a full 8 weeks. And that's really impressive, because so many people only know how to code by themselves in isolation, and they don't know how teamwork actually works. And that slows them down tremendously. If I'm a technical hiring manager and I have the choice between somebody who knows how to work together with a team and can demonstrate that, and you can because you have all that proof of all the code and all the features you built together with your team, and somebody who doesn't, I always pick the one who can code together with a team. And that's just like what gives our students a huge edge in the job application process. Now, what else are we doing? So another thing that we have our job track, right? And there's like, we're actually relaunching that. So we're not only helping you with optimizing your resume, optimizing your LinkedIn profile and your social outcome, we actually think about how do you brand yourself as a developer, right? Be it for freelance work, be it to be attractive for an employer. And then we're also relaunching that with like 58, I believe, lessons. And that goes anywhere from branding, resume review, technical mock interviews, and then also goes deep into like how to structure yourself, how to find a job, how to apply, what's the strategy, right? We're not trying to give you, here's 3 places or 10 places, for a few companies that we know, why don't you apply for these 3 open jobs? We try and teach you how to fish, so we're going to give you a strategy and a way to execute on that. So if a few jobs don't work out for whatever reason, their timeline, your timeline, technical interview didn't go well, for some reason you had a bad day, you know how to generate more of those leads and actually move forward on that. So that's really what we're all about. It's like not giving you fish, but teaching you how to fish so you can reproduce that and use that, the same techniques of how to find jobs that are advertised, how to find the jobs that are not advertised, and how to network continuously as you go through your career as a developer. Now, that's pretty much the info session that I wanted to go through. Talked about the full program, talked about our Agile team project, our job prep, and talked about our intro course where everything starts. So again, most of you already know the intro course and coding with us there, but if you don't, join us there. Go to firehoseproject.com, sign up, send us some of your code, and we'll review it. And I want to look through if we got some questions. Here's one that I pretty much get every week. It's about, like, why are you guys different, right? So that's a good one, and maybe I should answer that every week. But why we're different, I think there's 3 reasons, right? And one of them is the depth of the curriculum. We're going a lot deeper into algorithms and data structures and computer science principles, and that's what you will be tested on a technical interview. And it's also what's really important, that solid background in order to build advanced web applications. And we're not just teaching you the theory and the background, we're actually making you write code and build algorithms, and then taking all that knowledge and applying it during our Agile team project. And I don't see a single program out there that goes that in depth with the algorithms and data structures, and then also applies that while you're under the wing of the VP of engineering in your group project, right? And that is outside of your one-on-one mentorship sessions. That's on top of that. Then the next thing is, like, our senior web developers, right? I mentioned that. We have senior web developers from places like eBay, PayPal, Product Hunt, Shopify, right? They take you under their wing, and they're carefully chosen and trained. So it's not like graduates from our program, and I see that way too often happening in other coding programs where you, like, somebody graduated 3 months ago and now they're supposed to mentor you. They have years of experience, and that's the people that you get. And then the last, I don't want to say the last, but it's our community as well, right? There's always somebody there to help you, run you through some problem sets. The community is always active in our Slack channel, on our community page. They have 2 open source projects that they maintain. We're running regular, what we call lightning talks. These are virtual conferences where our students come together. Each of them runs some presentations, and we have anything from continuous integration to debugging tools, different code editors, to here's how you land a job, my strategy, what worked out for me in this city, in this area, down to, like, here's a design, here's how you need to think about designs developers from somebody who had a really good design background, right? These are the talks that our students give to teach each other, and I always go to those because I always learn something new. So they're really awesome. So that's our community, right? Again, it's like what matters, like the depth of the curriculum, the quality of the mentors, and then the community. I think that is key to why we're different. Let's see if we have anything else. I'm gonna see if we got anything on the Google Plus page. I have a few more emails there, but I want to quickly check. Let's see, where is that? Just found the link. One moment. While all this presidential election is going on in the background. Awesome. Okay, let's see if we have any questions. Loading right up now for me. I think I'm good, but I get some email questions over here. Cool. Let me dive into the email questions. So one question is like, are you teaching algorithms as well? From Emma via email. Yes, I just said that, right? We go in depth on algorithms. We teach you not only algorithms, data structures, sorting algorithms, search algorithms, several other linked lists and data structures that are really important for you, not only for technical interview, but also to understand how to build more advanced web applications. So definitely we're going to teach that. What's the other one? Have you taught it at Carnegie Mellon? Yeah, that's something that we've actually done. Like, we've been doing this for close to 3 years, and before we went online, we actually were teaching a lot of in-person classes, right? We taught Harvard Business School, Carnegie Mellon, Babson, Brown, Rhode Island School of Design, several more. We talk in the classroom, everything that we learn in the classroom, in our online learning platform. So that's when I say we engineered this entire Firehose online learning platform to make things click for you. That's what this means, right? We really tested how do people learn advanced technical concepts, and that's what we engineered our platform about. So that means that we give you the right piece of content at the right moment. So if you're going through and you're like, I don't know how this thing fits together, you usually get pinged and you're like, here's something you should understand right now. And that really helps you go through the curriculum at a faster clip while having everything solidified in a much better place. So you retain more and you learn more at a faster clip. And if you get stuck, you have our support system, right? Be it our Q&A forum where you have an error message, you take a picture, post it there, and we help you out as fast as possible. Be it in the mentorship sessions, be it coming to office hours, right? Be it going into the community and asking your fellow students. That together with the engineer platform, that really is one of the big differences that we see in our students and our students' outcomes as well. I think that's pretty much it. I think a lot of people are watching the lecture here, I guess, so not getting too many questions, but that's totally fine. Again, if you guys still on the intro course, keep going through. Happy coding. And if not, you all have my email. Send me an email address if any other questions come up. Just super fun. Thumbs up to you guys, and I'll see you next time. Take care.